It's not just a race. You never know what's going to happen.
If you think you're going to come down here and beat Mexico, it'll absolutely bite you.
500 miles into a 1,000-mile race, you learn a lot about yourself.
It's just the greatest race in the world, it really is. It's unbelievable.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in and having watched the Desert Said Dance trailer. My name is Forrest Minchinton. I'm one of the racers and cast in the film, and today I have my teammate Colton Udall and Aussie racing legend and Fink champ David Walsh. So thanks for joining us, and we wanted to just kind of give you guys a little insight into what went on behind the scenes, and also I wanted to get these two of my racing heroes together and talk Baja and Fink. So we'll start it off with Walshy here, and I guess, yeah, tell us a little bit about Fink this year and how it went for you.
Yeah, so firstly, thanks for having me. It's pretty cool to be a part of this. So yeah, cheers. And yeah, I think this year was a bit of a different vibe. I don't know if you guys have heard, but there was a bit of a racing incident, a bit of a death on the track. So they actually stopped our bike race on the way home. And so it was only basically a one-way race this year. But I mean, I think for me, it's like Christmas here in Alice Springs. The whole town goes berserk, and yeah, it's basically a 2-hour sprint from Alice Springs here, from the town I live in, to a small Aboriginal community, 230 clicks, sort of south. So the race itself is insane, and I mean, Colton's done it himself, which was pretty cool having him out here and getting his feedback on the event, and then it was pretty awesome for me, to go over in 2019 and actually race the Baja, which is something I've always dreamed of as well. So yeah, it's pretty insane.
Yeah, that sounds. I've always just as a fan of the sport and as a racer, I've always dreamt of going over to at least just go watch Fink. And I remember in 2015 when Colton went over, and I was just rooting for the American. But yeah, it looks definitely different than the racing we do here, or I guess I should say in Mexico and Baja. But Colton, yeah, what was it like for you going over there to race Fink the year that you did?
Well, it was great. Yeah, thanks. I'm stoked to be on the show. Let's be honest, David would have won the second day, whether it was cut short or not. That from my experience, the guy who sends it down usually sends it twice as hard on the way home and just makes you hurt on the second day. So anyways, yeah, it was in 2015. It was a cool experience. There was a lot of people there, 650 plus entries, and I was honored to go down there and have Desert Edge support me, and my teammates were actually David and Damon Stokey, who's actually a fallen friend and of both of ours, and these dirt bikes are dangerous, so we're really fortunate to be sitting here and talking to each other, and it's really cool to just be able to keep the dream alive for those guys, and those guys are in our hearts. So it's a bummer that you guys had another fatality down at Fink, but I did have a good experience. I mean, I did crash really bad in pre-running, and it felt like I was going maybe 60, and I high-sided on one of those famous square edges down in the bottom of the whoops at Fink, which any top level Fink racer would tell you, what the hell are you doing down in the bottom there? You're supposed to be skipping across. So that's I guess that was one of the faults I had, and I ended up soaking in Epsom salt and licking my wounds for like 5 days after I crashed at Roomy's house. And anyways, the Fink was a good experience. I got down to from Alice to Fink, and I asked the girl, like, oh, how did I do? And she's like, oh, the leaders finished 20 minutes ago. And I was just like a dagger in my heart, man. I thought I was somebody. And, but those Aussies, they taught me a real good lesson. So, to each their own, you know, each racing series is kind of different. And, those guys, any American ever watching this, don't think you're going to go to Australia and hold it wide open down the Fink track and beat an Aussie. All the guys prior to me those guys were just they got lucky. So anyways, it was racing Fink was super cool, and I was honored to do it. Would I ever go back? Maybe. I don't know. It's a little fast for me these days at 35 years old. So
well, I know for me, it always seemed, I think even Baja going down when we raced, 2019, you know, had it not been for your guidance, you know, having a 5-time, you know, Baja champion as my mentor and sort of using you for guidance, I would have been pretty lost myself. So I can only imagine going to another country as far away as Australia and trying to race, and how challenging that would be. But I kind of clicking it back over to David, you were talking about coming over, and I had no idea until today that you raced the same year we did racing or making the film. But it sounds like your experience was maybe similar to Colton's when you showed up and you felt a little bit like a fish out of water.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't really know the rules and, you know, what to really expect, and track signs and things, you know, because it thinks like a one track. You never cut it. Like it's, you know, it's just got to stick to the track that's marked, and that's all that there is. And yeah, when I got to Baja and I started at around mile 5:30, I got on the bike, and it's sort of a little bit towards the end of it, like the first 10 miles was just a lot of whoops, and there were just 10 roads going every which direction, and I was like, man, like which track am I meant to be on here, you know? And it sort of took me a couple of days to get my head around the fact that as long as you hit, you know, your checkpoints, fastest track wins. So I just had to take a lot of time then to try and work it out, where to go and what to do. And then sort of after 3 days, I, you know, sort of had that down, you know, pretty good. And then the team I was riding with, they sort of like, all right, man, so your next section's pretty much unsupported. You got to go over this mountain range. They strapped a 20-litre bag of fuel to my back, and had no sat phone. They were just like, all right, you know, just take it easy, just ride over this mountain, and we'll see you hopefully in 5 hours. If you're not back by then, you know, we'll send someone to come look for you. And I sort of looked at my mechanic that I took over there at the time with me, and we were just like, man, are we actually doing this? You know, we're in Mexico. We, you know, don't know which end's which. So, but, oh man, we did it. And I'm so glad, because it was, you know, one of the coolest experiences of my life. And that race was just something different for me, the way it's run. And yeah, it was just such a cool experience. And I'd definitely get back over there any chance I've got to do it again.
Yeah. What do you think about I guess the variables of being able to sort of pre-run and get creative with your line choices and pit strategy and stuff like that? For you, is that something you enjoyed compared to what you're used to?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was very cool. It was different. So being able to try and create your own lines and you know, be as fast as you can on the track, because you've found a cool alternate line that no one else might know about, was something I really enjoyed and looking for, you know. And, you know, the more I did it, the more advice I got. And by then, you know, I had tape in my pocket. I was trying to mark the lines. I was, you know, back and forth. Like, it was, you know, that part was a really cool experience for me. And I guess, like, just the fact that the race wasn't so much a sprint like Fink was more enjoyable. Like, you really had to, you know, be mindful of where you were going, and and what you were doing, which, you know, for me was different because Fink, you know, it's, you just got to hit everything as fast and hard as you can for 2 hours and hope that you don't land on your head. Whereas Baja, you really had to watch where you were going. There's always big rocks to catch you out, and you had to save the bike, save your body so you didn't ruin it for the team. And yeah, it was, you know, something different, but something really cool.
Well, we hope, I hope to see you back in Baja, hopefully in next year or in the years to come, as hopefully the world smooths itself out. And I know I'd love to come over and at the very least watch you guys go wide open across Fink. But
if you ever do, mate, I've always got a bike here. You can come for a spin or.
Oh man, as soon as I get the opportunity to hop on an airplane, I'm there. I kind of wanted to touch on this year, 2021 for Colton and Derek Osterbauer, who was a rider of record and your teammate and our teammate during the film in 2019, but unfortunately he's not able to be here with us today. But yeah, Colton, I guess tell us a little bit about 2021. As you know, most teams nowadays generally will have at least a four-man team to race the Baja 1000. This year being almost 1,300 miles. You guys went out and decided to do it as a two-man team, which is that's a huge undertaking. It's a lot of miles for two people. So maybe just shed a little bit of insight into what this year's effort was like and how you guys were able to go back this year and win the score championship.
Yeah, to touch on what David was saying before, like Fink, my experience in 15 was, I was like, wow, you know, I'm the type of guy who gets the bike from each rider. And I was thinking I was pretty fast down in Mexico. And then I went to Fink and everyone was just like holding it wide open to the stops. And like, it was amazing to just be slapped in the face and obviously taught what they really do there. And I wasn't really willing to crash anymore. And after I had crashed in pre-running, and I was just bummed about it. So I got the bike from point A to point B, and it was, I think, like a solid like 11th or 12th. And the Aussies were stoked that they smoked the American, which is, it's cool. I made a real good friend out of obviously Damon, and he came over quite a bit, and he was able to win a championship in 2016 and won the 24 Hours of Glen Helen and all that stuff. So the Aussies are awesome people, and it's really cool too. I had open arms when I was there, so I thank all them. To talk about the Baja 1000 this year in 2021, you know, I've since that 2015 year, I broke my back in 2016, and I've been just kind of a mess as far as recovering from it. I have a residual spinal cord issue, and I haven't been that fit. I haven't been that like active kind of from my toes. And I moved to this property that you're seeing behind me, and I started training in January, and I got as strong as I really could be. And it was kind of like my opportunity to prove that I'm strong again. And so I went and raced with my teammate, Derek Osterbauer. And unfortunately, dirt bikes got us a little bit at the Baja 500. Another teammate of ours, the reason why we weren't a three-man team was Nick Garvin got hit by a side-by-side head on at the Baja 500. So we didn't have our dream team, Forrest included. And it was just Derek and I, and fortunately, we had some support from guys like Pervines and Deus and just, you know, the close people, and the budget was just enough to, you know, support two riders. And we didn't have an extra bike. We didn't have an extra van. So we couldn't really bring on another rider. So our only option was to do it the old style way, which is the way like guys like Johnny Campbell and Bruce Ogilvie and Jimmy Lewis and, you know, many legends before us, they always raced that race course, you know, with two guys. And so I challenged the 1X guys, Mark Samuels and Justin Morgan, and it would have been a bad financial decision for them because there was actually a risk that they could get beat by Derek and I if there was 2 riders. And so they stacked the team with 4 guys, and we tried our best and led the Baja 1000 for, like 600 plus miles this year in 2021. And we did the best we could, really. Our bike went down the track perfect. We executed all the pit stops perfectly, and I rode the first 467 miles. Derek rode another 500, which is a pretty heavy stint, I can tell you, because it's 9.5, 10 hours on the motorcycle where you're focusing and just concentrating on, getting through each mile and ticking off each, really gnarly obstacle. At one point, like somewhere in like the race mile 420-ish, we were doing like enduro cross. It's called Fred's Tractor Trail, and the course was, so aggressive. So glad to get through the Baja 1000 unscathed. At the very end there, I had a white bull run across my path, and it damn near scared racing right out of my life. So I'm super thankful to be here talking to you guys, and as I'm sure David is with he's got a family, so we're both family guys. So it's the Baja 1000's cool. I think I'll be watching from the sideline or a chopper in the future. Maybe David wants to come over and ride a different color than what he's normally used to. I might be able to facilitate that at the end of next year.
And I'll come over and ride a push bike if the offer's there.
Hey, that
Either way, I mean,
like,
David, you're welcome to obviously here and out of my property. I'm running tours and stuff soon here from my property, and if you ever come over, I obviously offer this to a lot of Stokey's family too. It's you guys are welcome to come over and stay here, and you have a place just like it is over there in Alice.
No, that's awesome. Thanks, mate. And I'm sure I'll take you up on that, because just want to get back over there as soon as I can.
well, sounds like hopefully there'll be some text messages exchanged after this call, and maybe some plans for next year with the get you over here. But I guess we'll wrap it up here, and for everyone watching, I know David, you got to see a little sneak peek of the film, and I guess tell us what you think and or what you thought of after watching it.
The film just really displays what goes into the backgrounds of what takes a Baja team to be successful, and the work, the hours, like all the behind the scenes was just so cool for me to watch, and I could relate to it after doing it, and it was just a really cool film, and I can't wait for the screening on it. So come down and watch it.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you guys, and it was really cool to be able to talk to you, and hopefully we'll see you here in the future. And for everyone watching, you can head to thedesertsaidDance.com to see all of our screenings that will be happening across Australia and USA for the remainder of this year and into early 2022. But guys, thanks again, and let's go racing soon.
Thanks for having us, and I look forward to it.